Hi, in the previous video we looked at both the formatting toolbar and the formatting menu item. Today we're going to look at file options, or many of the file options. When you click the file menu, you'll see the first thing that you see is share. That will bring you to a window you should be very familiar with. You can type the name of someone you'd like to share with. You can give them edit, comment, or view privileges. Alternately, you can get a shareable link from here, which simply means you're making it semi-public and anyone can get to it and look at it. Or you can go to advanced, where you can be a little more discriminating in who you share it with. Multiple people. You have a couple of additional options. These are all covered in a video on Google Drive, so I won't go into too much detail here. You can create a new document, spreadsheet, presentation, etc. This is the same as you would do under the New button here in Google Drive, with the exception that you have this nice template option, and if you click there, it's going to bring you to this page of pre-made templates. So if I wanted, let's just say I was working on my resume and I liked this particular style, if I clicked on it, it would create a new document with formatting already in place to save me some time. Okay, there's an open button to open other documents. There's a rename button. As we said, you can simply click on this if you don't want to use that rename option. Make a copy, which is extremely useful. If you need a duplicate, so you need a variation of a particular document, you can say make a copy. It's going to give you the option to change the name before it does that, so I'm going to name this Test of Docs 2. And it allows you to navigate to where exactly you want to save it. So if you don't want to save it directly in my drive, I could go into an additional folder, etc. I could even create a folder using the button down here. So if I was, let's say, let's go into Staff Resources, create a new folder, call that Junk because I don't really want it, and select that area. When I save this, it will go into that folder. If this document was shared with particular people and I check this box, the new document will be shared with the same people in the same way. This particular document is not shared at this point. And there's my Test of Docs 2 you can see here. And if I were to go back to Drive and look in Staff Resources, I would find my new Junk folder and my new document. I'm going to remove both. Also under the File menu, you have a Move To option. I simply think it's easier to do it directly in Drive, but you can use that if you'd like. There's also a Move To Trash, so this would be to remove or delete the document. There's a See Revision History option, and let's take a look at that. You can see here that there are 2 entries for this right now. The first one is a blank. The second one shows me pretty much my current document. But if I go to the bottom, there's an option for more detailed revisions. And this is going to show me lots and lots of changes that I've made. And by clicking on any one of them, you're going to see that document in that form. So, yeah, this is all before I did anything with superscript or subscript. Let's see when that happened. Nope. Oh, there you go. So I can see there's some playing around with those things in this version. If I wanted to, I could restore this version now. And then this would be the version of the document that I would have when I saved it. I can still go back and get this version. So I restored it to this version, but I decided that was a bad idea. So now I'm going to go back to the version just prior to that and restore that one. And now I'm back where I was. There's an option to show or not show changes. I'm not sure why you would want to leave that unchecked, but I guess you can if you want. There's also a zoom option over here. There's a print option over here if maybe you just want to print a prior version but don't want to revert to it. So very useful feature in Google Docs. Language feature we're not going to use too much. You can see I was playing with it. This is just defining the language of the document. Really doesn't have much of an effect on the document. In most cases, probably unnecessary. There's an option for document details. This is just giving you some very basic information about where it's located, who owns it, when it was last modified, when it was created. An important option is the page setup option. This will allow me to change the orientation from portrait to landscape if I choose, to set my margins top, bottom, left, and right, to choose a paper size, and to establish a page color, which I really don't want to do because those backgrounds, one, are not going to print anyway, and two, I wouldn't want them to put that much ink on a page, which is clog up the printer. So page color I'm generally going to leave. And then I can also set these as default. So if I want a narrower left and right margin, if I want 0.75, I just like to squeeze things onto this page. And I'll make my tops and bottoms 0.5. And I'll make it landscape. I could set this as the default for docs. And then when I create new docs, they will be created with these settings. But I'm going to cancel that for now. That's not really what I want to do. This series of options has to do with different ways we can output, share, collaborate, etc. on the document. So one is what if I love Google Docs and I love Google Drive, but I need a copy of this on my computer and I want to make it into some other type of file. So I can use the download as, and you can see it gives me a variety of options. One is it will translate it right into a Word doc, which is very, very useful. The other that's particularly useful is that it can output it directly as a PDF. Okay, other options are available in there. There's a publish to the web option. I have to say I've never used this in particular, but if I publish this, it simply becomes a document on the internet that anybody can search for or find. Okay, and if I look at my options here, the option that's pre-checked is that it should be republished whenever I make a change to it. So if I want to put a document out there, just generally I can do that and I can update it without having to go through any particular process. There will be options to either get a hyperlink or to get embed code where you could actually put that in in a web page somewhere. Okay, not an option I believe to be widely used, but you may find a use for it. You can email collaborators. You can see that I haven't shared this document with anybody, so I'll do that now. Okay, so I've now shared it with someone. And when I do that, it's going to just open up a window where I can quickly email those people that are collaborating on this document. And of course, I can uncheck this if I want. There's a select all, there's a select none. If there were multiple collaborators, I could uncheck one if I wanted to and send them a message. I can choose to send a copy of this to myself. And I can also choose to take the item itself, meaning the Google Doc, and paste it into the email. So these are different options I have when sending a message. And this could be useful. It depends what your workflow is like. Could be useful. I'm working on a document with 2 or 3 other people. Maybe it's not something that we're working on immediately, where we're working on it every day, but we're doing it over a period of time. And so when significant changes are made, I just want to contact those people and let them know that that happened. Of course, notifications could be set up to let them know also, but this is just another option. And then you can email as an attachment, and that's just going to open up a window where you can put in addresses to whoever you want to email it to, write a message. You can send a copy to yourself, and you can choose the format. So by default it's going to go as a PDF, but I could have it created as a Word document and sent out, or in one of these other formats. Notice that what's not available here is to email it as an attachment as a doc. So you're going to get this in some other format than that which it was created in. And again, I can paste the item into the email itself if I choose to. And that really concludes our review of the options in the file section. It's all about creating, naming, modifying, organizing, sharing, and printing your docs.